So High Rolling Bravo is known as the strongest deck in the format, but what if I told you that these new cards have made high rolling the norm? Crashdown and Earthlaw Empowerment are the main culprits for these high rolls. These cards force the insane on-hits that Bravo has access to, putting their power so high that your opponent literally cannot block out the crush effect if they wanted to. And then you can push that even further with Dominate if you want to. And now I thought these cards were going to be a little bit too slow at first, but when you think about it, our usual 2-card hand would just be tech plating into hammer for 6 anyway. So instead we're just saving that 6 damage for the next turn instead to put on top of our massive crush effects. And when you see it like this, then you realize that this is actually a legit strategy. Next, Bravo finally gained access to some Guardian boots in the form of Civic Steps. These boots fit perfectly into the playstyle so that we can safely set up our buff effects and not have to worry about our opponent trying to strip our cards from our hand thanks to our fridge equipment. And then once we get our first big turn from the buff effect, we can just snowball it from there. And lastly, I have to shout out Colossal Bearing, which when enabled can destroy any equipment with 1 or less block left on it. Tunics, Stormstriders, Snapdragons, you name it, and Colossal can probably destroy it. And so obviously we're enabling it mainly with the new Crashdown and Earthlaw Empowerment, but we also chose to run Pummel and Goliath Gauntlets as additional ways to turn on this broken effect. And my favorite part is now we just add these new cards on top of your standard Bravo list, and then that's it. But now it's time to high roll some kids in the gameplay. So here we're up against a Dory with a Great Axe. We chose to go first because of all our new auras to play on turn 0, but unlucky we didn't find any here. So instead I just choose to try and leak a little bit of Dominate damage by activating Bravo and swinging with Debilitate for 6. Opponent gave me the arms and a defense react in blue shunt, so not bad, I'll take it. Arsenal the Zealous, pass it to them. On theirs, they go Sharpen Steel into Axe swing for 7. I decided to value block here, even though it's not really value against Axe, but we take 5, down to 35. They Arsenal, pass it back. Over on our turn, just going to create a Seismic and swing in Zealous for 5, go again. Opponent blocks 3 of it, taking 2, and I follow it with Anathos for 6. Opponent just value blocks for 3, ending up on 35 to end the turn. We Arsenal a Starstruck and pass it back. So here it looks like the opponent had an awkward hand. They're pitching 2 yellows to swing in for 4 with the axe. Don't really care about 4. Just going to take that down to 31. Then they pass it back. Over on ours, going to have another nice turn here. We're making a Seismic, then dominating a Starstruck for 10. Crush effect, they can't attack with their weapon. Opponent gives us the last block on their arms piece, a card from hand, and they had the D-React in Arsenal. So damn, unlucky. But they still leak 2 here, and we Arsenal this Terra Sunder, pass it over. On theirs, they swing in with a CNC for 6. I debate whether I want to give my crown here, but I don't think I need to. So just going to block 6 with 2 cards, then they Arsenal, pass it over. On our turn, happy to just play a 3-card hand, Terra Sunder into Hammer for 6 on hit, discard 2. Opponent gives us a 3 block, taking 4 down to 29 and discarding 2. So very nice value play for us for this turn cycle. We pass it back to them. Over to them, they're just swinging axe again. Happy to keep using my life as a resource. So we take it, down to 27, pass to us. My turn is pretty simple, just making a Seismic into swinging Spinal Crush for 9. Opponent actually gives us 3 cards here, which is really nice. I guess they had an awkward hand or something, because when we pass it to them, they pass it straight back. So our turn again, just going to keep the ball rolling with another Seismic into Dominated Spinal for 9. Opponent thinks on blocks before landing on their crown, boots, and a blue shunt. So they block out the crush effect, but still take 2 down to 27. All goods. Arsenal the crush down, and we pass it over. Now on their turn, they have a Sharpen into Axe for 7. Happy to just double block this for 5, taking 2 down to 25. They Arsenal, pass it back. Here, I'm just going to set up this Earthlaw over the crush for the Seismic effect, just in case I need it. So we do just that, and then ship it back to them. Over to them, they have a 5-card hand, which is kind of scary, but they lead off with Axe for 4, no blocks, take it down to 21. They crack their boots for go again, swing in again for 4. I still don't want to give them any reprise value, so no blocks again, and then they play an out for blood. So we take 7 down to 14. Ouch, but now it's our turn. Over on ours, nothing sus here when I choose not to dominate my blue disable. So it's coming in for 12 with 2 floating. Pretty obvious for the opponent, but nothing they can do. They choose to no blocks it, so I pummel it. Who would have expected it? But they end up taking 16 down to 11, lose their Arsenal and a card from hand. So massive. live, we pass to them. On theirs, they're just swinging the axe again. Still don't want to give reprise value or equipment yet, so take it down to 10. They had the glint, so nice no blocks from us, but now they have go again, so they swing the axe in again. Just gonna cover it with the tech plating to make sure I don't waste my temper block this game. So we take 2 down to 8, and then they pass to us. So over to us, we get to do one of my favorite plays of playing a go again attack into one of the auras. So we swing the rouse in for 7 go again. Opponent snap blocks with 2 cards in the tunic, which is very nice for us. And then we just set up the crush down. Then we just Arsenal Starstruck, setting it up for next turn and pass to them. So over to them, they just swing an axe for 4 again. I can't die to anything here, but my hand is a little awkward. So I'm gonna put my crown in front to hopefully filter a red into a blue to hopefully be able to play Starstruck. So we do that and then we find a blue, very nice. But we take 2 down to 8, they Arsenal, pass to us. Then over on ours, gonna swing in Starstruck for 16. They full block their whole hand, but still take 4, going down to 7. We Arsenal the Colossal and pass. They don't have a hand obviously, so they just pass right back. So our turn again, gonna make a Seismic, pop the Goliath gauntlets, and dominate our Colossal for 10 dominate. They have to have the D-react here to live, which they did have, damn. But they end up taking 6 down to 1. We Arsenal the Crippling and pass to them. So here they swing in for 4 with the axe with 3 cards back. It's either a glint or an overpower, so I really don't want to block with a card from my hand. I realized I can just give the equipment though and be safe from overpower, so I end up just doing that. They had the overpower too, but now I'm only taking 6 down to 2, and then they pass to us. And on ours, just do the Bravo thing of a simple dominated crippling crush for 11 to end the game out. GG's. So as you can see, the deck is easy as fuck to play while being super fun, smashing out massive dominate on hit, time walks every single turn. So if you're into that type of shit like me, then check out the list in the description. But that's it for the video, and we out. Peace.